Hello, friends. I have breaking news to share with you this Saturday. The United States could hit its debt ceiling in just a few days. This could mean a pause in monthly benefit payments for the American people. Republicans, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, are trying to reach an agreement as quickly as possible. There is a lot of information to cover, friends, so please do make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also know that I'll be giving away two $75 Walmart gift cards next Friday. If you'd like to enter the giveaways, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Earlier this week, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen informed Congress that the United States is on track to reach its statutory debt limit this upcoming Thursday, bringing the prospect of a disastrous default into sharp focus. Janet Yellen warned and stated, failure to meet the government's obligations would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, the livelihoods of all Americans, and global financial stability. So for now, the Treasury Department will enact a number of extraordinary measures in order to satisfy the country's ongoing financial obligations. According to experts, the United States can raise enough money from cash reserves to last beyond Thursday, but those powers are not infinite. Janet Yellen calls on Congress to raise the debt limit. Yellen estimates that the measures could delay a default until early June, but the United States risks breaching the debt ceiling and suffering a hugely harmful default unless the ceiling is raised by Congress. So even without a historic default, reaching the debt ceiling can have damaging economic consequences. The United States has never previously defaulted on its own debt, but tense situations where it approaches its statutory limit have become increasingly common. The 2011 debt ceiling crisis outlined what can happen if the U.S. is allowed to reach the debt ceiling, even if a full default is avoided. 2011 shared a number of key factors with the situation in Washington, D.C. today. If there is a stalemate, a few things can happen. First, the U.S. Treasury will begin to move money around to cover the shortfall in cash flow. These actions can last for a few weeks or months. So once those measures run out, the federal government will have a hard time paying its own obligations like Medicare and Social Security. Although Congress has a pattern of raising the debt limit, the decision to increase the federal debt ceiling is never easy. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told President Biden that Republicans are interested in imposing a spending cap in exchange for temporarily raising the debt ceiling. McCarthy pointed to a 2019 spending deal between his predecessor and the former president as a model. That agreement included bolstering spending for defense and domestic programs. But White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said that Biden is not interested in negotiating. So far, the markets are assuming this debt ceiling crisis will work out. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think that there will be a government shutdown? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, friends, starting at the end of January, you will be able to file your federal tax returns. One important thing to do is to review this year's key tax changes that are likely to affect the size of your tax refund. Many of the crisis tax benefits from the past few years, like the expanded child tax credit and temporary expansions to the child and dependent care credit, ended at the end of 2021, which could mean that your refund will be a little smaller this year. Mark Steber, Chief Tax Information Officer for Jackson Hewitt, has recently told reporters a lot of things that were put into place for 2021 and some part 2020 will revert back to pre-crisis years, which can lead to a refund shock. For the 2022 tax year, income tax brackets were also raised to account for inflation. Your income bracket refers to how much tax you owe based on your adjusted gross income, which is the money you make before taxes are taken out. While the changes were slight, If you were at the bottom of a higher tax bracket in 2021, you may have bumped down to a lower rate for your 2022 tax return. Last year, more Americans were eligible to claim the Earned Income Tax Credit on their 2021 tax returns. This year, the credit jumps back to its pre-crisis rules. So for your 2022 tax return, the maximum you can claim for the credit, if you do not have kids or dependents, is $560. It is a $942 decrease from last year's maximum of $1,502. The age requirements have also shifted back to the original rules. You must be between the age of 25 and 65 to qualify. My amazing and beautiful dearest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this July 14th. Thank you, friends, for being part of this community and watching the new videos that I post daily. I will be announcing 2 new winners next Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Friends, please enter these giveaways. All you have to do to enter is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you very much and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.
American families are fighting harder every week to make ends meet as they deal with President Biden's raging inflation crisis. Food prices are up, gas prices remain at unbearably high levels, and too many families are having to make the impossible decision of whether to put gas in the tank or food on the table. It's so tough to be a family in that position. I know all too well how this feels and the impacts these high prices have on families. I grew up in a poor family with a mom who worked long hours at her job and also picked up odd jobs just so our family could get by. We never had any extra money, so when prices went up, we had to go without. Families all across the country are in that same spot. People who have never visited food banks are having to turn to them to feed their families. Folks are being forced to pawn their things just to afford gas. It's heartbreaking and makes me furious. Reports are showing it's happening across America, in Reno, Nevada, Macon, Georgia, Yakima, Washington, and in cities in my home state of Florida, like Pensacola and Fort Myers. These people are having to turn to their local pawn shops as they see their monthly bills grow higher and higher. When President Biden said that we're going through a, quote, an incredible transition, is this what he meant? Mom and dad having to sell Bobby's PlayStation and Susie's doll collection just so they can afford to take them to school. Since day one, President Biden has